Yeah.
Speaking of plays or monologues, you're not just a poet, but you also write for stage, which I just find so fascinating and hard. So I'm really curious about what is the movement, the overlap, where does it diverge from or converge with what you try to do with a poem, to write a play or to write a monologue, to write for stage?
So sometimes I'm trying to write a project and it's like, I'm not a poem. I'm not a compact. The poem is a very compact form. It's very it's the essence of something. And sometimes this is like, I want to explore bigger issues or bigger themes. So the last play I wrote was looking at, and sometimes it's things that I'm not equipped for. It's like, so you need to go and research writing plays. You need to go and research AIDS epidemic in the Caribbean. You need to kind of research and go and do research around, gay men in the Caribbean who were coming of age during this time, because you know absolutely nothing. But this story really wants to be written. So the last thing I did was a love story between a gay couple, who were having a relationship at the time, at the height of the epidemic in the Caribbean. That could not be covered. That's not a poetic. Although I haven't done dialogue. So I've done monologues and I've done duologues. And then I've done interactive performance pieces where the audience come in and they're the audience and it's sewing and stories. So people come in and they sew. I collaborate with someone who is a seamstress or an artist. And then we facilitate a space where people come in, and I'm about the table. We do the kitchen around the table. Most of my interactive work has been around the table. I like this art of pass me this and pass me that, and how community and conversation, and how these rituals facilitate conversation.
It's interesting because you just overtly tied it together, but I often think that, we were talking about this a little bit on the weekend, there's something, self to page and that wrestle that is about writing the poem, but the play, the drama has to have room for the audience, for the other actors, for the other people on the page, for the collaboration between the person writing it and the people who are going to enact it, who are going to embody it, right?
And the
so
space of letting go. There's letting go, because you go into the rehearsal space, and for the first day, maybe the actors will ask you, so your intentions, and try and see something. And then afterwards, it's a collaborative process between the director. That piece was more also looking at what happens when language fails. So it was looking at movement. And so it has a movement director, and it had a script director, and it had the two actors. And so they then begin to make this thing. They then begin to imbue the character. And so you have to be able to let go to kind of
you can't just walk on and say, that's not what I meant.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
It's so different from the poem where every intention, deliberate intention is there, and you're in control of it, and you don't necessarily meet the audience who read your books.
So even if it's doing other things, you don't have to know about it.